Gas prices drop just in time for Memorial Day weekend. The White House slashes nearly half the staff at the National Security Council, and the Indy 500 grid is packed with drama, from scandal to a rookie on the pole. Plus today's trivia, Memorial Day was originally established to honor fallen soldiers of which war? It's Sunday, May 25th. This is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hey there, I'm Amy Hess, and welcome to your Sunday edition of the Flyover. I hope your Memorial Day weekend is off to a restful or at least sunny start. Whether you're road tripping, manning the grill, or just enjoying the slower pace, I've got the news you need to know, so let's get right to it and get ready for takeoff. Let's start with some good news at the pump. Gas prices are expected to hit their lowest level for Memorial Day weekend since 2021. Drivers can expect to pay around $3.08 per gallon for regular gas, according to Gas Buddy. That's about 50 cents less than this time last year. And with AAA projecting more than 45 million people traveling this weekend, it's a welcome break for your wallet. Over at the White House, the National Security Council is getting a major shakeup. President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have launched a restructuring that will cut nearly half of the NSC's 350 staffers. A White House official says the goal is to reduce what they call, quote, deep state influence and shift the agency from a policy-shaping body to one focused on carrying out the president's agenda. And all eyes are on Indianapolis today. The 109th running of the Indy 500 kicks off with scandal, shakeups, and a rookie on the pole. Team Penske drivers Will Power and two-time defending champ Joseph Newgarden were bumped to the back of the field over a rules violation. Meanwhile, 25-year-old Robert Schwartzman, one of three rookies in the race, stunned the field in qualifying and will lead the pack from the front row. Let's take a look at what's happening in money news. First up, United Airlines has reached a tentative labor deal with its 28,000 flight attendants. The agreement includes retroactive pay, a signing bonus, and quality of life improvements. The deal must still be approved. Next, a new Lending Tree report is revealing how Americans are using short-term financing services like Afterpay, Klarna, Affirm, and PayPal. One surprising stat: 25% of users said they've used this service to buy groceries, up from 14% a year ago. And on Friday, President Trump signed a series of executive orders aimed at speeding up the construction of nuclear power plants. The move comes as the administration braces for a surge in electricity demand in the coming years. Now it's time for your weekly market check-in. Wall Street wrapped the week on a down note. The Nasdaq fell over 1%, the S&P 500 dropped nearly 1.7%, and the Dow posted the biggest loss, down more than 2% for the week. On the flip side, Bitcoin edged up nearly 1%, while gold surged almost 4% as investors looked for safety in uncertain times. All right, loyal followers, you have heard this all week, and while the message hasn't changed, the price absolutely will. Let me put this in perspective. Picasso is backed by heavy hitters like SoftBank and Mavron, the same VCs that backed companies like eBay and Allbirds. So why are they investing? Because Picasso, started by Zillow's co-founder, is changing the way people buy second homes. It's already done over $1 billion in real estate transactions, and the momentum is global. Record sales in Paris. They've got 8 homes in Cabo, and they just closed their most expensive home yet in London. No wonder gross profit grew 41% in 2024. The opportunity for you? You can invest now at just $2.80 a share. This isn't a crypto token or some vaporware idea. It's real equity in a real venture-backed company. But again, the price changes on May 29th. Head to Picasso.com/theflyover to get the full picture and make your move before that date. Again, that's PACASO.com/theflyover, or click the link in the show notes. Still ahead on the flyover, what the happiest couples do differently on weekends, a shipwreck discovered by accident, and a vintage photo collection that's awkward in all the best ways. But first, let's take a look at what's happening in sports. All right, let's talk sports. We'll start across the pond. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah has been named Premier League Player of the Season. He racked up 28 goals and 18 assists, leading the club to its second Premier League title. Back here at home, the Pittsburgh Pirates are doing some myth-busting. They're shutting down rumors of a trade involving star pitcher Paul Skeens. The team says it's committed to building around him and not shopping him to other teams. And in the NFL, the tush push isn't gone yet, but it might be. Commissioner Roger Goodell said the league will keep studying the controversial short yardage play this season and could revisit a possible ban in 2026. And finally, what a comeback in Atlanta. Braves outfielder Ronald Acuna Jr. smashed a 470-foot home run at 115 miles per hour on the first pitch he saw since returning from ACL surgery. And that's how you make an entrance. Today is Sunday, and that means it's time for Sunday Rewind. Let's take a look back at a few stories that got a lot of clicks this week, and for good reason. First up, a weekend checklist for happy couples. A psychologist says there are 5 simple activities the happiest couples make time for every weekend. First up, put the phones away. Prioritizing presence over screen time. Practice parallel play, doing separate activities together. Weekly rituals like Sunday pancakes are a shared weekly chore. Schedule connection, because being alone doesn't always have to be spontaneous. Laugh on purpose, whether it's a goofy game or a dance battle, playfulness is key. And I'll add, my husband and I definitely have a good ritual down. We're going through the Bible in a year and start our days reading together, and that consistency over time and the meaningful conversations it inspires has been such a gift. All right, next up, vintage awkwardness at its finest. A roundup of retro family portraits from the 70s and 80s and beyond is making the rounds, and it's pure nostalgic comedy. Think bowl cuts, denim overload, matching jammies, creepy Santa, and glamour shots. Anyone remember those? My mom and I each got one, and let's just say I totally cringe just thinking about it. Ugh. These not-so-timeless treasures are absolutely worth scrolling. You'll find the full collection in today's email edition. And finally, a wild find in Wisconsin. A fisherman near Manitowoc stumbled on a tugboat wreck lost in Lake Michigan for over a century. The J.C. Ames was built in 1881 and buried in sand for decades until recent storms brought it back to the surface, a slice of Great Lakes history found completely by chance. Coming up, a fizzy origin story, a no tears onion hack, and why full moons sound like Indy albums. Plus your poll results and a Memorial Day trivia challenge. Let's land this thing. But first, here are your quick hits. All right, now it's time for your bite-sized news stories, the one we couldn't let you miss. And honestly, they're too fun to leave off the plate. And speaking of snacks, need an ice-cold beverage to wash it down? You can thank one bold Coca-Cola executive for making Diet Coke the cultural icon it is today. It launched in 1982, but not as a diet drink. Coca-Cola's Sergio Zeman marketed it as a regular soda that just happened to have 0 calories, with the now famous line, just for the taste of it. That bold move helped it become the top-selling diet soft drink within a year, and it's seeing a nostalgic resurgence today. Next, a tear-free tip from the physics lab. Physicists at Cornell found the real trick to avoiding onion tears comes down to your slicing technique. It's not goggles or freezing. It's using a razor-sharp knife and chopping fast. They even tested it with a tiny onion guillotine. Yep, that's real science. And finally, ever notice how full moons have names that sound like indie band albums? From the Flower Micromoon to Bloodworm and Superblue. These lunar labels are stacking up, and not always for ancient reasons. Turns out today's moon names are a mix of Native American tradition, almanac flair, and a whole lot of modern marketing magic. Some, like micromoon or supermoon, are based on the moon's position. Others, just seasonal shout-outs that stuck. Bottom line, the moon didn't change. Our branding just got better. For more on any of these stories, plus a few bonus ones, check out the email edition of The Flyover. All right, it's time for Pole Position, where we turn the mic over to you. Yesterday, we asked, which is your favorite meat for Memorial Day grilling? Here's how you voted. 30% of you said all of them. Clearly not here to choose. 24% went with the classic, hamburgers. 11% picked steak. 10% said ribs. 8% went with hot dogs or sausages. 6% said none, and rounding it out, 5% each for chicken and other. Now, for me, I love ribs, don't get me wrong, but they take up half the grill and they're not exactly crowd-friendly. That's why for Memorial Day, burgers are the clear winner in my opinion. That's what my crew is serving up. As for today's question, are you planning to watch the Indianapolis 500? Your options are yes, no. When does football start? Head to jointheflyover.com to cast your vote and sign up for the email edition. It's free and packed with everything you just heard and more. And we'll have the answer for you on tomorrow's show, which, if you tuned in yesterday, you know I'll be hosting our special Memorial Day edition. I'm so excited. All right, time to test your historical chops with today's trivia. Memorial Day was originally established to honor fallen soldiers of which war? If you said the Civil War, give yourself a gold star. Memorial Day was started to pay tribute to the many soldiers killed during America's bloodiest conflict. The official birthplace of the holiday, Waterloo, New York. That town honored its Civil War dead with a citywide commemoration on May 5, 1866, closing businesses and decorating graves. It became an official federal holiday over a century later under the 1968 Uniform Monday Holiday Act. A lot has changed since then, but the purpose remains the same: to honor those who gave their lives in service to the country. And that's a wrap on your Sunday edition of The Flyover. Thanks for spending part of your weekend with me. Whether you're road tripping, manning the grill, or just enjoying a little quiet before Monday, I'll be back tomorrow for a special Memorial Day episode, so be sure to join us then. And if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to like, share, and tell a friend. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform and leave a comment. We love reading them, responding, and growing this ever-expanding Flyover family right along with you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and as always, thanks for flying with us.